such an asshole.
Hi, Aaron, returning client. You've done a few video requests in the past for me. I'm a 24-year-old with an IQ in 115 and 120 range. From a relatively young age, I've been socially isolated and been told by people in my peer group at the time that I'm weird to get bullied whenever I try to fit in. I've been told most of my life by teachers and counselors that I pretty much have a sort of dysfunction in learning. I agree. The way I'm not bullshitting here trying to be mean, but the way you write, there's something off. I don't know what it is, but there's something off. And you also are pushy. And I'm not trying to like slam on you, but you're not the only one where I send a quote. People send me a request. I read through the request. I email them back saying, here's the price. They pay the price. Dude, you didn't wait. Now you did wait like a day, but so I've had people's like, did you get my money? When are you going to do it? What do you shut the fuck up? You're not the only person alive. There's something's wrong, man. Like and I'm not trying to say it's bad. It just is what it is. But yeah, there's something with you. There is, and it would annoy people. And then rarely do I recommend talking to a therapist because I think the psychology profession is so bullshit. And I mean, there's some real things that are real phenomenon, real psychological issues, but god damn, the veracity and their ability to identify and actually cure people is so fucking low. But yeah, I think you need to figure out. I'll take a shot at with, not a therapy background, but just to give you some philosophy, so it might help you. But yeah, they're not wrong. Now they're wrong to bully you and they say, "Oh, you're this and that," something like that. I don't think you should have been put in special education. It's not a surprise with an IQ like that you were put in special education because teachers, if they can't figure out the difference between a genius and a fucking idiot, like, "Oh, you're not conforming. You must be stupid. Go to the dumb kid class." So, I mean, that's to be expected, which I now know is BS. Fast forward to today, and I'm a truck driver and I run a small business on the side, but still find myself struggling with my intellect and trying to deal with stress and the stupidity of people or dispatchers and companies as a whole. Well, that I don't think has anything to do with you, whether you got a slight psychological issue or your IQ. That's just people being dumb. Uh, yeah, you and me both, buddy. I just today I did a video early this morning. And in the video, I said, I can't go into town without there being at least one fuck up. I go to town, run my sure enough, someone pulls a UE right in front of me. Like, there it is. So let's diagnose this correctly. Americans are getting dumber and they're getting less respectful and they're getting more lazy. And you working in essentially a supply chain, that's what you're working. You need everyone to do the job at the right time. I'm sure Alex Patino can speak to this. And you're getting lazier, dumber, slower people, and you're on a schedule. That's not a you problem. That's a them problem. But this ain't going to get any better. So I could totally understand your frustrations, but your psychology being what it is probably even more annoying to you because you seem to get this impression that people owe you something. I'll get to the rest of it. I like someday to own a truck of my own and run independently, which I've done my due diligence on the numbers and how I try to be as profitable as I can on all the regulatory aspects of running a company. I also have been very interested in statistics, market analysis, and economics, which keeps me mostly mentally stimulated, but absolutely scares me knowing where we are potentially headed if things go sour. Which is why I'm also trying to prepare for that possible scenario, or at least buy into certain assets that could potentially hedge against the rising cost of inflation. I also tend to see things and perspectives much differently generally than most people, including my family, here we go, who I've had arguments with and don't speak to very often anymore, except my mom, who takes the time with me when I'm not working, tries her best to understand me and my thoughts. Let's stop right there. What fucking obligation do people have to you to understand you and your thoughts? I mean, it'd be nice, but why are you getting pissed off? Like, when I'm in a when I was in banking meetings and loan committee and all that, I say we shouldn't lend to this person. They're gonna whatever default and bad. And then I got flack and people don't understand me and my thoughts. If there were no ramifications, that'd be fine. But the bank was going to go south. We're going to lose all of our jobs and all like that. If it's a social thing and I'm like out socially, and maybe this is a younger person thing, uh, someone doesn't understand the concept of, I don't know, inflation. I'm trying to explain to some idiot liberal arts major girl that I want to bang at a house party why we can't print off more money. And she doesn't get it. I would have not gotten pissed, perhaps a little frustrated, but I wouldn't get pissed. I wouldn't get angry and not speak to people anymore because that dumb bitch doesn't understand how inflation works. There seems to be a psychological or not intelligence, entitlement in your mind that, God damn it, why don't people understand me? Why should people understand you? What obligation do they have to you for you to be understood? Who cares? They don't have to take the time to understand you. And if you get pissed off at them because they're whatever, not taking the time to understand you, you're definitely going to push people away, which is the title of the thing. What do you care what people think about you? I mean, they're not even thinking about the topic that you're talking about. I can understand uh, what people think about you, but why do you care what they think? Why do you care whether they understand? I'm sure nuclear physicists might be somewhat frustrating where people don't understand the finer points of nuclear fusion. I don't think they get pissed off if us mere mortals with 110 IQ can't figure out, well, how did nuclear fusion work again? Why is energy released? I don't get it. You're fusing them though there was more electrons or something. I don't know. I hate to admit it or say it, but I find myself to be more sensitive and tend to get angry or upset, emotional over things that most people wouldn't care about. So my question is, how do I get over the fact that I'm probably smarter than most people and stop letting it get in the way of my self-esteem and ability to function like a normal person and increase my confidence to use my judgment and abilities to further improve my chances of success in this world, or at very least function more normally day to day? Thanks for your response. Well, okay, two things. One, if they're not as smart as you, they're just not going to understand it. Like I don't get pissed off at my dog and kick. Like I don't have a dog. I don't get pissed off at a dog and kick it if it doesn't understand 8 + 8 = 4. Right? Uh, I don't. There's a control issue you got, man. It's almost like dictatorial. I've never understood why dictators want to dictate. Like there's a lot of work involved in control. Like the CCP, Xi Jinping. Wow, like that guy ain't happy. He's trying to control a population of 1.2 billion to do what he wants them to do. Why? That's got to be incredibly frustrating. What do you care what people think or agree with you about? It almost sounds like they're not respecting me. So what? Who cares? I mean, it was lengthy here. Let's read it again. How do I get over the fact that I'm probably smarter than most people? One, you just admit the fact you're smarter than most people. Most people aren't going to operate at your level or understand some things. And that's not their fault. It's not no reason to get emotional or angry about it. The dog can't do math. That girl or that guy doesn't understand the difference between diesel and regular fuel. And stop letting it get in the way of my self-esteem. Well, you obviously have an issue where you're deriving value. Your self-esteem should not be dependent upon other people or the approval or understanding of other people. Your self-esteem should be, I did a thing and it worked well. I did my job, fuck the rest of y'all. I did a good thing. I You're a truck. I delivered the stuff on time. I maintained my home. I go to the gym. If your self-esteem is dependent upon getting people to like you or understand you, you're in for an incredible amount of hurt and misery. I think you got to realize they're separate human beings. They don't, one, they're maybe not able to. And two, why should they? And three, it's perfectly all right if they choose not to. I don't get pissed off if people don't. I'm trying to think of some because it's just so petty to me. Somebody doesn't like my car. All right, you don't like my car. I don't get pissed off about it. Why? They don't like my car. Oh my God, we could still be friends if they don't like my car because like my car is not part of my self-esteem. I guess I could further clarify it for you. I'll let pretty much anything go in the comment section, except like stuff where you're, violating YouTube policy and all that, and I'll usually kick people out. I will not tolerate anyone questioning my abilities. Not a single one. Nope, because that directly speaks to, "Oh, he doesn't know," and yeah, actually, I do know what I'm talking about. You're out of here. You could disagree and like, "Oh, you don't understand. There's this thing and the stuff, and da da da." Poopy poopy fart fart. Okay, fine, let that go. Yeah, man. Conspiracy theories. It's all the aliens coming down from the space, man, and they put it in the water. Beep, 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 beep. Oh my God, what an economist. You think you did it? Delete, gone, ban. Because it's directly speaking to something that I've worked on and I know to be fact. But if someone doesn't like your car or doesn't understand the point you're making, I don't know. And the ability to function like a normal person increased my confidence to use my judgments and abilities to further improve my chances of success in this world. Confidence. Why are you confident in what you're doing right now? See, again, you keep looking for approval from people, and that gives you confidence. Fuck other people. You just told me they're idiots and morons that take it for why never ever derive your confidence from approval of other people. Derive your confidence from shit that works, trial and error. Oh, I did that thing. I know how to do it. Oh yeah, that's going to happen to the economy because I figured it out before. Yeah, you got a problem worrying about what other people think about you, and that affects your confidence. Fuck other people. Did you do your job right? That's it. That's all you got to do. Judgment and my abilities to further improve my chances of success in this world, or at least function more normally in my day to day. Thanks for your response. Yeah, man. I don't, again, you probably could talk to a therapist. This isn't like a crisis, but you're going to be miserable trying to get everybody to do what you want or agree with you or go along or just fucking get it. Uh, and like I don't know how much deeper I could delve, but you have an irrational, here's what it is. You have an irrational amount of your value and your expectation in life dependent on other people, what they think and what they do. You seem to fail to realize that these are sentient, separate human beings that are going to do their own thing for better or worse, right or wrong. And that infuriates you. Could you imagine what it was like working in banking when I said there's a housing bubble coming and no one agreed, but there were consequences to that for me. Don't worry. Who cares? And here's another thing. No one likes being around a guy that insists that you agree with me all the time and I'm right, damn it. Who fucking wants to hang out with that? That's as far as I could go. You got to stop worrying about what other people think because they're not the final judges on whether you're doing a good job or not, whether you're a good man and what you're doing is right or not. Sounds to me you're doing what's right. You're working, you're showing up on time, you got a little side hustle. Um, you're logically and completely understandably getting frustrated with the incompetence with whatever. You got to go up to the deck, paperwork. People are being stupid. I get that. But to the fact that affects you, that you're like angry and frustrated, you're trying to control something that's not under your control, and you're deriving value from something you shouldn't be deriving value from, and that's the approval of other people. And as you get older, you start to realize other people are dumber than fuck, and a lot of pretty immoral, or worse, they're completely unaware of it. But yeah, man, let go of that control. You're not People don't like being controlled. Try have it a voluntary thing. Don't judge, don't they must understand me. No. No, no. They might understand you, but the insistence that you have that they understand or approve or whatever, no one's gonna wanna hang out with you because you ain't fun. I mean, that's my best stab at it. So, but yeah, go I don't know. Someone who it's the problem with psychology. There's stuff that actually is important and in there. And yes, sometimes it is good to talk to a therapist. It's just, man, I would talk to the grizzled Vietnam vet. Go talk to the old man who's a therapist. Do not talk to Bipsy, who just got her master's degree at 25. Um, I go talk to Paul Benjamin at apexmindset.net. Maybe he might have a better idea. I know him. I trust him. He went to war. Um, but yeah, but just as far as I can tell, You care way too much what other people think. You derive your value from people. From people. You shouldn't derive your value. You should derive your value from what you accomplish and what you do. It's not middle school anymore, man. You don't have to worry about what these people think about you. That's about it. That's all I got. Any super chats? New super chats? There you go. Vlad Elkins in the house will be going live with him in 2.5 hours. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.